What is that one thing that everyone has in common? Whether they are wildly successful or still figuring it out. It's not talent, it's not discipline, it's not even luck. You know what it is? It is self-doubt. That quiet voice that whispers, "What if I'm not good enough?" That hesitation before you try something new. That thought that creeps in just when you're about to do something bold. I have felt that voice at every stage of my life. I am Jitesh Vaswani, your host, and on today's episode of Beyond the Known, I want to explore the topic of self-doubt and share how I have learned to deal with it. Even as I sit behind this mic, that voice still creeps up. Will this even land? Will people take me seriously? What if I'm wasting my time? And the thing about self-doubt is that it isn't always very loud. That voice isn't very loud. Sometimes it just whispers quietly in the head. Maybe I should wait till I'm more ready. Maybe this idea has already been done. But here's what I've learned. Self-doubt isn't something you overcome once. It is something that you learn to walk with and not let it stop you. There's a story from the life of Buddha that I really love. One day a disciple came up to him and said, "Why can't I see the truth?" Buddha didn't lecture. He just asked the disciple to go fetch some water from a nearby lake. And the man went, brought back a bowl of muddy water, all stirred up and unclear. Buddha told him, "Just set it down." So the disciple placed the bowl on the ground and they just waited. After some time, the dirt settled. The water became still. You could see your reflection in it. Buddha then said, "See, this is exactly like your mind. When it is stirred by doubt, you cannot see anything clearly. But when it becomes still, the truth reflects back to you." And that hits hard. Because honestly, that's exactly what self-doubt is. It's not always a lack of ability. Most of the time, it's just a cluttered mind. Too many opinions, too many comparisons, too much pressure. You cannot see yourself clearly. And when you cannot see yourself clearly, you forget who you are. And that's when self-doubt takes over. For me, one of the biggest tools in handling self-doubt has always been my breathwork practice. I remember when I was in my high school, self-doubt showed up right before the most competitive exams. During a high-stakes moment of life like this, self-doubt is quite detrimental, needless to say, right? It can lead to anxiety, and I know people who are very smart, they know the subject matter, but they still perform poorly in those exams because for them, self-doubt took over. Since around that time, I have incorporated Sudarshan Kriya, the sky breath meditation, as part of my daily routine. That daily rhythm of breathing gives me fresh start each morning. My mind quiets down, my thoughts feel lighter, and without the weight of overthinking, I find myself open to taking bigger risks. For example, even recording this podcast right now felt like a risk. What if people would judge me? What if no one would listen? But I've learned to show up anyway. Because it's not about being fearless, it's about showing up. Now, as a teacher of Sky Breath and the art of living, I've seen firsthand what happens when people reconnect to their own stillness. Their energy shifts. Something inside of them moves. You know, Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar, my teacher, he often says, doubt is always about something that is positive. You never doubt your depression. You doubt your happiness. You never doubt someone's anger. You doubt their love. So when self-doubt shows up, I don't panic. I don't fight it. Here's what I do instead. Step number 1, I breathe. I come back to my practice. I give my mind some space to settle down. Eventually the noise fades, and that's when truth begins to rise. Step number 2, I move and do it anyway. You know, action is the antidote to doubt. I take the leap. I hit publish. Every time I move in spite of the doubt, I remind myself that I can trust my own voice. Step number 3, I shift the focus. I remind myself that it's not about me. It's about who this might help. Even if it's just one person, even if one person feels seen, that's enough for me. So if you're holding back right now, waiting for that perfect timing, that perfect version of yourself, this is your sign. You do not need to be completely ready. You just need to be real. You just need to take that one step. Self-doubt is not your enemy. It is just noise. Let it settle, and I promise the truth of who you are will rise to the surface. Thank you for listening. This is Beyond the Known, and this episode was me walking through self-doubt with you.